Hey, YouTube, it is Sunday, July 25th, 3:11 p.m. I promise you, the shirt that I was wearing yesterday is not the same shirt. It just happens to look exactly the same. It probably has exactly the same stains, but I assure you, they are two different shirts. I think. Okay. Today is a crappy day outside, but you got to keep a always positive look on everything. Storm may be on the outside, but make sure you keep the sunshine on the in. Today's day number 2. I recorded and uploaded about 5 videos yesterday, just talking about everything I've basically see as far as the future goals that I have for this channel, and basically things about me and my life, so we can all be on the same page and we can move forward quickly and get to the live streams, which I can't wait. And but you know, I need some subscribers. I need to start creating this little family of ours, and we need to start birthing this thing fast. Like I said before, it's all about the message that God puts in my heart, and I will give that to you guys. And in the future, the videos will look a lot better when I have time and do all that fun stuff that I've been trying to do for the longest time. However, bear with me while I do it this ghetto style, buck wild, raw and uncut, just putting on my laptop and press and record style videos. Of course, again, day number 2, I have to clean. I know you don't care about the cleaning part. That's just something I want to make sure that if you're new, you're gonna just see me stopping and getting interrupted by my kids. I just want to let you guys know, in case you don't know what's going on. I'm just trying to multitask while I make these videos, because if I don't do that, I'll never put anything out. So I just want to bring, and also I want you to feel like you're a part of fam. You get to see the real me. I'm not hiding behind any glamour. I'm not hiding behind money. I'm not hiding behind an expensive camera. I'm giving you the real, the raw, because I feel like that's what God wants me to be, genuine and real to you guys, and so we can create a positive family. God did not put anything on my heart to say today that was something that I felt was alarming. Although we can get into so much stuff where I don't even know where to begin. So I'm gonna start with a testimony.
It's 3:15.
Nobody asked you. Okay, so I'm gonna start a testimony of mine that actually has been a request from many people, and the reason why I have 30 subscribers when I had no video. I'm recording right now. What? All right. So I'm gonna get into a testimony that everybody has been requesting for the longest time, and I feel bad. It probably took like 2 years to send out this testimony, but guys, here it is. There's quite a few, so I'm trying to remember exactly which testimony I commented on. But I'll start with the first occurrences in my life, and then I'll make future videos on every other one, because I'm trying to keep these like 11 minutes, 11 minutes, because I know people get bored easily. So basically, when I was 2 years old and living in Queens, one bedroom apartment, tiny little apartment in Queens. We lived on the 2nd floor. One night, I'm in my crib, which is crazy, because if anyone knows Queens, Bronx area, like those type of small apartments, you literally open the door and there's no hallway. It's just room 1, room 2, room 3, and you can see from the minute you open the door to the minute to the end of the wall is all one. So in other words, in my house, you would open the door, you'd be in the kitchen already. The next room is bedroom number 1, and then the back room is technically the bedroom, which had a big window in the front, and that's it. That's all it was. It was just kitchen, my room, and then my mom's room. But no doors. No, everything was open like an open studio. Um, no hallways, and there was a little bathroom in the by the kitchen. That's the only thing that was separate and kind of secluded, but very tiny, very small. So, long story short, I am sleeping in my bed, which at the time I was so young, it was actually a crib, and I was 2 years old, I believe, and the crib, obviously my mom was using as like a bed, but it was still ghetto style buck wild stuff, like she just didn't get me a day bed, or you could change it into like how do you do it now, where it changes into a day bed and then bigger and bigger. But anyway, long story short, regular crib from the 70s. I'm sleeping, head like this, so my body's facing one direction, and the way I was laying was, here's my head, my feet, laying on my side facing the open area so I could see everything. Behind me was a window in the wall, so I'm basically looking out towards the main area where you can see everything. Pitch black because it's 2 o'clock, about 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, and you can't see a thing. However, between the little lighting that my mom had in the kitchen, a night light here, a little light there, there was like a glowy thing in my room. So, there was ways to see, the aspect of what's going on, but it was a very dark, dark night to, everybody's sleeping. And I opened my eyes, and lo and behold, right literally behind, here's my face, picture a crib, here's my face, here's the bars of the crib right in front of my face. Right outside of those bars, equally eye contact. So you figure, those cribs are pretty high off the ground. So you're talking, this was like a good 2 or 3 feet off the ground. And I'm eye level with this thing. Now, when I say this thing, I mean, all I did was open my eyes. I didn't hear a sound. I didn't hear anything. There was no reason for me to wake up, or there was no reason for me to open my eyes. I just did. And when I opened my eyes, here I am face to face with a pitch black creature that had horns. The face was just like, it's the typical drawing that people make when they see the devil, and it's like a real quick sketch would be something like this. Let's see here. Let's do a quick one. That typical, very, long horn, this thing here, another horn there, and the sharp, like, type face, eyes like this, very, little nose like that. I don't remember a mouth. Yeah, I think it was like something like that. So, this was what I saw as his head, right? So it was just that, right? You see, just big horns, sharp looking type of face, black. Everything was black, everything. And nose had like two little holes. It wasn't even a nose. It was like 2 holes. And the mouth was like that too. It was a small mouth, no fangs and nothing like that, right? Didn't say a word, didn't move. It didn't do anything except for literally stare right at me. And here I am, face to face with this thing for about, I don't know, a few seconds. And it's, those type of things, when those type of traumatic experiences happen, it was like, I don't know, I'm sure people out there can relate, but you remember that day and what you went through like it was yesterday. Down to the thoughts. So, I remember thinking while I was looking at this thing, not being scared. I do not one part of my bone or body was scared of this thing. I was only 2, so I didn't even know what life was. So to me, seeing that thing didn't faze me because I had no idea what I was looking at. So, I was so naive and so young that even evil things didn't even faze me because I didn't even know what evil was at that time. Okay? So, what did make me finally like I guess start crying or whatever, or like come back to my senses, is when I said, okay, this thing's staring at me, I'm staring at it, it's not moving. What does it want? You know, why is it here? What is, you know, is it here to be my friend? Is it something trying to attack me? So I stood up, and as I stood up, this thing kind of like, no, I'm going ahead of the game. I'm sorry. It was when I was about to stand up. I remember thinking in my mind, you know, let me get up, let me, you know, see what this thing wants or whatever, right? As soon as I had that thought, it slowly backed up off of me like this, and it had the movement of like as if it was a snake. So all of a sudden, but now mind you, this thing is locked on me. Like its eyes, it's like looking at me, but I mean, it's moving away like this slowly, but believe me, it is locked on me, right? And then what made me now stand up is the fact that this thing now is going like this. It's going like a snake. It's going, it just, the head started going like this. You know when a snake is like, you know, like the movement of a snake, a cobra, when you know, in India, they start doing that dance, and the snake starts just going like, you know, moving back and forth, swaying back and forth. That's what it started doing. Its head started going like this, swaying back, swaying forth. And then it was going down and down and down. I'm laughing now because it's funny the way I look, but that's what wound up happening. It was just going down like this. And then as it's going down, I'm now standing up on the thing, looking like, what the, you know, trying to look to see where is it going, what is it doing? And it literally melted into my floor. It just, as fast as I saw it, as fast it was gone. It didn't make a peep. It didn't make a sound. It didn't leave any traces of anything. It didn't harm me. It didn't scare me whatsoever. It just simply vanished in that fashion. I started wailing now, because now I'm like, whoa, what was that? Now it's like my senses came back. You know, now I'm like crying my head off. My mom's like, okay, what's the matter? Now, I'm 2 years old. I can barely talk. So I didn't even know how to explain what I just saw. So the only way I was able to explain horns was big ears. And I'm like telling my mom, there was, all I remember is saying to her, big ears. It had big ears. It had big ears. And then my mom was like, what are you talking about? What had big ears? I said, the thing that was in here. She's like, what thing? What thing? And she just kept on going on. She's like, oh, you just had a nightmare. Think about that, a 2-year-old crying, saying he's seen something. It's just a dream. You just had a nightmare. But believe me, I was wide awake. I'll never forget that incident. And furthermore, I don't remember if it was a little while after or it was I think it was actually after. I think this happened after. But not long after that, which, mind you, I never saw anything like that again. We only stayed there for about 3 more years, because I moved to Long Island when I was 5. So for 3 more years after that, I didn't experience anything. But I will get into this. About I believe a week or so, or 2 weeks after that incident, my mom is sleeping. At the time, my dad, he was my stepdad, because my mom and dad did not ever marry. They were actually just boyfriend and girlfriend, because that's how young. My mom was 16. My father was 17, when they had me. So they were babies. So they basically didn't even get married, and they just, went their separate ways. And then she actually got serious with my stepdad, and so he was my dad. But he worked in the late hours, so he wouldn't come home from work sometimes 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, anywhere from 3, 4, or 5. Okay, so my mom's sleeping. It's about the time for him to come home. It's around 3, 4, or 5, and she knows his daily routine. The door, you hear the key, everything unlocks, right? Takes the keys, either puts it in his jacket pocket, depending on the season, obviously. Hangs his coat up, leaves the keys in the jacket or whatever, and then walks into the bedroom, takes off his shoes and leaves them in the corner. does this every single night for how many years, right? And then all of a sudden, this one night, she hears the door open like usual. However, she doesn't hear it slam shut. She doesn't hear him putting the keys in his jacket like he usually does. But what she did hear is keys jingling, and it started far away in the kitchen, because that, when you, like I said, when you first walk in, you walk into the kitchen, then you're in my room, and then the back bedroom. So this thing literally opens the door, makes a jingling sound of keys. Now it's getting, the jingling sound is getting louder and louder, where she feels as if, obviously, he's coming closer, right? And now, right? So my mom's just thinking, because my stepdad was a funny dude. He would do funny things. Maybe he's just being, he's in a jokeful mood, trying to, play a prank or whatever, whatever case may be. And, but something told my mom, a voice just would not let up, basically screaming at her, do not, I repeat, do not open your eyes. Don't let it open your eyes. Do not look. Please keep your eyes closed. This whole time, this is what's going on, like loud. Like she's like, whoa, can you imagine waking up like that one day? So now she's thinking, wait a minute, this could be an intruder. So, my mom's like thinking like, oh man, this is Queens, this is New York City. It's in the middle of the night. Did someone like take the, the keys from her husband while he was trying to get in? And now he's like, doing some type of, I don't know, what weird people do in New York City, and like some, trying to like torment her and then rape her. Now that's going through her mind. So she doesn't know whether she should open her eyes and confront this thing. But then she thought about, what, maybe it's just better off thinking that I'm asleep and it doesn't even, whatever. So long story short, she actually keeps her eyes shut as possibly can. Her eyes are like, she's like squinting so hard, right? I'm trying to record. Stop, man. So what happened is that the jingling sound gets right up to her ear. So she can feel this thing, and now mind you, when this thing got in her room, she even heard she felt the footstep. It was like, and it wasn't a regular footstep. It was like boom, 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 boom. I mean, like really like that, like somebody stopping. And then my mom's like, it's got to be him playing a joke, but I'm not gonna open my eyes because the thing now is yelling in the ear, don't open your eyes. The closer it got, the louder the voice got. Then finally, it gets to her. Stop the it's
3:30.
Nobody asks you. Now it stops, and then all of a sudden, it's like someone was taking the keys and jingling it right up to her ear. She literally can feel the keys going back and forth, ling, 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 ling. And then she wants to just be like, oh, this guy's just messing with me, but maybe not. Maybe it is a rapist, and whatever. Long story short. Right at that moment, now she hears the door open. She hears the door close. She hears the normal, routine of my stepdad. She stays her eyes closed a little bit longer to make sure, and sure enough, she don't hear the stomping. She don't hear the jingle of the keys anymore, but she hears that, stepdad is really home. She jumps up. No one's in the room. She runs to my stepdad. Now this is when I'm like, now I wake up because I'm startled. My mom's screaming her head off. Oh my God, there was someone running off. So now my dad, New York City, they don't play. So it's like, dude, where is this guy? We have an intruder that was in the house. So there's really nowhere to look. So it's not too hard to find this guy if he was hiding somewhere. And sure enough, they ripped apart my closet. They took apart. They looked in the ceiling. They were ripping this little poor apartment apart, looking for this guy that wasn't there. And then they say, well, maybe he jumped out of a window. We're in a second-story building. There's nobody jumping out of that window without it being noticed anyway. So that wasn't the case. And my dad was so paranoid. And my mom, for like 1 week, they literally had like there's like when you live in the city, everything's portable. Try to get it condensed as possible. So they had in our kitchen was also where our dryer and washing machine combo was, or whatever, or something like that. So they were putting like that, the oven. I don't know what the hell he had. All I remember that place was barricaded up for like a good 2 weeks because they did not understand what the hell was going on. Now I understand what it was. It was absolutely spiritual. All of the signs are there. What I felt is the case that somehow that a demon infiltrated our family and infiltrated our place, and I don't think they were too happy about the fact that I was able to open my eyes and see it for myself, because they like to be secret. But I think the stomping and the tormenting was actually some type of like, I want to say just a scare tactic. I think the keys was more like chains, I think it was just like one of those ghouls from hell that were just trying to scare us and show that the dark side is running things around here. But I think that's the real reason why they came to our house when I was 2 years old, because they knew how powerful I was, and they knew that when I grew up, I would be a fighting soldier for God, and they were trying to like intimidate us, because I could talk about this forever, and that's why I'm going to make separate videos. I was only supposed to do 11 minutes, and look, we're already at 21. So I'm going to end it right here. I'm going to go further into details into my other testimonies. I just wanted to say that, just pray. If anything ever comes your way like that, pray and pray. That's your weapon. I'm big on Saint Michael and him. I feel like me and him are like identical. We have the same heart. We want to defeat the devil. We want to save keep our people safe. And the thing is, I know a lot of Catholic people like to pray to Mary. They like to say saint prayers and stuff like that. Don't do that stuff. If you ever feel like you're in going through a war, or you're getting a spiritual attack, do not call upon Saint Michael. He's not going to listen. You must direct your prayers, and everything goes to the Father in heaven. If you're not calling upon Jesus Christ, you're not going to get help. I'm sorry. It's just that's the way it is. It's like you don't call, like when you have an emergency, you dial 911. You call the source. You let them dispatch whoever they need to dispatch and handle the situation. You don't personally call the police on their personal cell phone and say, "Look, I need help." That's the same thing. Don't personally reach out to like Saint Michael, and because let God assess the situation. You might not need Saint Michael. You might need this. You might need that. So. And it's kind of like a smack in his face. It's you're going past, you know what I mean? Like he's the one that deals with that. That's something that he needs to handle, and it's kind of like a disrespect to him when you're praying to Mary, a statue, rosary, and no disrespect to Catholics. I was born one, raised one, but I just know that's not the right way to be. So I'm no longer one. I think that's about it. So. Yeah, so that's the testimony of the first demonic presence that I encountered. But I'm kind of like I'm kind of being like a little. This is like a spoiler alert. When you hear the things that I've been through in my future videos, I have to say that that wasn't a demon. That was Satan himself, and you will see why when I get down to the once you start seeing my future testimonies, you'll understand why. But that absolutely wasn't a demon. That was the devil himself, Satan himself, and he's been trying to take me out ever since. I was born literally dead. When I was 6 months old, my grandmother noticed that I had a rash on me. Everybody thought it was a diaper rash. She said, "No, that's not a diaper rash." They rushed me to the emergency room. The doctor said if this baby wasn't in my presence in the next 8 hours, he wouldn't have survived. There was an outbreak of impetigo when I was born, and I was born in General Hospital in Flushing, Queens, and at that time there was an impetigo breakout, And I guess my mom didn't get the memo, or she didn't pick up on it, but I had it ever since I was born. So I was literally born already dying. And if it wasn't for my grandmother spotting it, because my mom was like, "Oh, that's just a diaper rash. It's just a diaper rash," because I had it all over my groin area, all over, the family jewels over there. And think about it. Look, the devil's trying to already attack my ability to have seeds. I mean, it's just, so you'll see in future videos why I know that was the devil himself. And that's why I want you to subscribe. That's why I want you to like this. That's why I want you to start sharing this, because the more you start getting to know me, and the more you start hearing my testimonies, and the more that you start to hear the things that I have to say, you will see that this is going to be definitely end times. We're living in end times, and basically I'm living proof of all the things that I experienced in my life, that I know that this is it. This is the final call. This is the shout of the voice of the archangel, because we already had the trump of God. We already talked about this already. Remember, love you guys. I'll pray for you guys. Please let me know if there's anything I can say or do. If you need hope, if you need to be brought to Christ, if you need any type of inspiration, if you need anything, just please reach out to me, comment below, and definitely subscribe. I promise you'll love my videos, and you will definitely enjoy the things that I have to say, because I know they're straight from the source, our creator. And this is my mission. This is why I'm here, to help you guys. Amen. Amen. Can I get an amen? Thank you.